Well, the thing about language is it's like a plant. It has roots, and most language we hear, the roots are very shallow. But some kinds of language has very deep roots, and also poetry, Chinese poetry especially. So the poem that you see on the page, there's a lot that you don't see. A poem has a lot underneath the words. So as a translator, you have to go there. You have to find that place before it was put into words.
Today, we are honored to have invited the famous sinologist and translator Bill Porter to accept this exclusive interview with our Sichuan Daily. Welcome, Mr. Porter, and I'm so glad to see you here and have this interview with you.
Wonderful.
So, we know you have translated many Chinese poetries, and you also have translated like the Tao Te Ching. So, how to translate the meaning from this poetry or from this book to reflect the real soul of the writers?
The thing about language is it's like a plant. It has roots. Mm-hmm. And most language we hear, the roots are very shallow.
Yes.
But some kinds of language has very deep roots. Books like the Buddhist sutras or the Tao Te Ching, and also poetry, Chinese poetry especially. So the poem that you see on the page, there's a lot that you don't see. A poem has a lot underneath the words. So as a translator, you have to go there. You have to find that place before it was put into words.
Just like put the roots inside us.
Yes, like in a long time ago, Zheng Xuan said, 在心为志，法言为师. So whatever is deep in your heart, when it's put into words, that's poetry.
Yeah.
So poetry is connected with your heart.
Just like a bridge.
The poem comes from your heart. And so the translator has to go and find that heart. In order to find the poem in my language, I have to harmonize with that heart. I have to put my heart where that heart is. And then I can use some English. Then I can use some English I tell people it's like dancing. I'm dancing with somebody. I'm an English dancer, dancing with somebody who's dancing with Chinese, but that dance is coming from somewhere that I can find a way to dance with it.
This means that you not only dance with the poetry, dance with the words, but just dance with the point, dance with the writers, and to find the roots just inside the culture and the civilization like the poet had.
Anyway, so that's my idea of translation. I don't know if you ask other people, they have other ideas about translation, but that's what I've discovered. I have later on this year in China, my publisher will be publishing my translations of Han Shan.
Yes.
And Tao Yuanming, and also辛弃疾.
Oh,辛弃疾. And you know, like辛弃疾is a powerful and strong and free style. It's not like Li Qingzhao or Han Shan, they are a romantic style. They are just like the two sides of the moon. So why you change your point to辛弃疾?
Oh, because I discovered his heart. It's all about the heart. Actually very powerful heart, but one that loves to have fun. He's very humorous. He likes to play around, and he's a musician. That's really important. Even more than other poets of his time. He even wrote essays about musical theory. Yeah, and not just that, no, but he wrote about the ideas of music as like essays about what is music, and what does it function in a zi? Because because辛弃疾was really good at writing zi, at lyric poetry, with music. But now, of course, we don't know what the music is. But anyway, that's why I was attracted to辛弃疾, because at first I didn't pay any attention to him. And then I read some of his poems, and I realized he had a really deep, profound heart. And he loved to have fun. And that's what I love in a person. Somebody who has a very deep heart, who loves to have fun. That's my kind of friend. And so I made friends with him. I became his friend. I've already finished the English. My English translations have already been finished. But
so have you translated the very famous zi from辛弃疾, like the 青玉案元夕?
Oh yes, of course.
So can you read it for us?
In the east wind last night, 1,000 trees burst forth, shower down a rain of stars. Jeweled horses and carriages and incense filled the road. The tremulous sound of a phoenix flute, the transforming glow of a jade vase. All night the lanterns swayed, and she, of the moth eyebrows and flower-decked hair, of laughter that beguiles, and the subtlest of perfumes, whom I have searched for in crowds 100 times, as I turned my head, she was there, where the lantern light was faint.
Wow, she was there. It's so beautiful. I mean, the translation is so beautiful, and its poetry has become a very romantic story. So I have another question. It's about why you are so interested in the hermit group, especially in the ancient Chinese history, and why you will translate the Han Shan's poetry. And in my opinion, it's kind of 缘分, because my Chinese name, Jin Chao, in Chinese, it means Jin Dynasty. And you know, the Jin Dynasty is famous about the hermit group. So it's kind of 缘分 that I can have this interview with you.
有缘分. When I was living in the monastery in Taiwan, living in a Buddhist monastery, and the abbot, Wu Ming Fa, he called me into his office, and he gave me a book. He said that he donated some money to help publish the poetry of Han Shan. And so he gave me the poetry, a book of his poems. Just a second, I'll get it out. You can see it's fallen apart.
Oh, okay.
But but he gave me this book. He said, "Here, maybe you might like this." And I had heard of Han Shan from Jack Kerouac. Gary Snyder had translated some poems of Han Shan. So I said, "Wow, his poems in my hand." So when I was at the monastery, I had a lot of free time, so I started translating them as an exercise. But of course, I was a Buddhist. I'm still a Buddhist, but I was there to study, Fofa. Yeah, and when I read these poems, the Buddha Dharma, the Fofa, is in the poems. And I said, wow, this is great, because nobody in China had ever written poems like this before. It's like the Wenya, the Xiefa, the writing style is by Huawen, a vernacular Chinese in the Tang Dynasty. Very clear lines. Even I could understand it. And so I began translating it because it was so easy, because it was simple, and it was about Fofa, about the Dharma. And that's why I was in Taiwan. So that's my yuanfen with Han Shan. The abbot gave me his poems. He said, "Here, Bill, take this book. Maybe you might want to translate some." And so that's what I did. I started translating it. And one book has led to another. And so that's why I keep translating, because I love to do that. Because as a translator, I become a friend. Han Shan becomes my teacher and my friend.
I have heard that you are writing a book about Sudompo, right? So when we can see this book?
四川文艺 says that the primary purpose is to publish this in English in America. So that will be the first thing they publish. But naturally, they will translate it into Chinese too. But that might take another year or two. So I need at least one more year to finish writing this book. At least one more year. So be patient. Be patient.
Yes, I really hope we can see you in Chengdu and we can see your book in 2026.
Okay, well, I will definitely come there when I finish the manuscript. But again, I think I need. I'm just doing a rough draft right now. A rough draft. So I probably won't be finished with the rough draft until June of next year. So probably December of next year, I think I should be done.
I really hope we can meet each other.